G'day mate, welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So, some things have changed. Yesterday, end of last episode, last night, I spent about 4 hours running around with concrete, and as you can see, all the concreting's done. It took a long time to do. A really long time. I spent, as I said, around about 4 hours last night concreting the main module after I'd finished recording the episode, and fixed a few other tweaks. Like I noticed the steel was broken on one lane or two lanes still. Something else, really minor stuff was still not 100% on this. Oh, speed module 1s, the last undergrounds were twisted. So the last couple didn't run, which meant low density structures didn't run at full speed, which, yeah, took like an hour to show up. On the topic of things taking time to show up, oil sorted. Turns out the tweaks that we did are now running perfectly. You're not backed up. You're a little bit backed up in petroleum, not backed up. A little bit backed up in petroleum. If we go look at the far end, happy. Beautiful. Works, 100%. Don't touch it, JD. So, that happened. And then I went to bed. And I'm like, I'm just going to leave the game running. I'm going to leave the game running. I've already blueprinted down all the concrete here. I'm going to leave the bots to finish it. In 8 hours, they should get it all done. It shouldn't be a problem. Everything should be fine. Guess what? I got up this morning. It wasn't done. It wasn't fine. I spent another hour or so laying down concrete over here. Also noticed that it didn't matter what I did. The one coal outpost I had was not nearly enough to feed everything. On top of that, this miner had actually died, so I had to replace it with another beacon and added more coal. More coal there, more coal there. Why are you not full? Oh, you're missing beacons. Okay. Yep. We'll just add another marker. Something else I gotta do. Yeah, that's gonna slow this guy down, which is probably okay, although yeah, you don't have a wire on you. Okay, so there's more things I need to do. Or actually, because I don't want to forget about the wiring, let's copy you, paste you, put you there. Okay, so the wiring's done at least. Alright, so that had to be done, that had to be done, that had to be done, blah, 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 blah. Now, at the same time, because I was going to go to bed, I went and added a few more chests to dump space science into. As you can see, that one's full, that one's full, that one's pretty low, that one's full. These are all, oh, that's got 69, 72, 72, 72, 72, 72. These chests are getting full. So, there are two things I want to do this episode. Actually, no, there's, okay. The next thing, when it comes to Factorio. Factorio is really a game about maths and ratios and everything working consistently the exact same every single time. The catch is Factorio doesn't actually work that way. Not quite. Especially when it comes to your silos. So, this one's unloading now, and I'm going to put my mouse here, and we'll see. We can see on the right-hand side status, it's working, and then item ingredient shortage. We can see we're occasionally short of rocket control units. The reason for that is it has nothing to do with the belt to insert it to chest, because the chest is full, the chest is fine. It's not a shortage of resources, it's actually a shortage of the silo can process the resources faster than stack inserter can get it in, because the stack inserter is limited by a stack, and all these items stack in stacks of 10. So I can only get 10 items in, 10 items in, 10 items in per second, which actually means that my rockets aren't running at full speed. On top of that, you can quickly see from when I started talking about it to now, it's been like 25, 30 seconds. I've run a timer already. I can't remember what the time was to actually make the rocket. But then launching the rocket itself, to actually get that launch animation done from the time we stop adding material into the silo to then resetting the silo, getting it set back up, and then loading again, is like another 35 or 40 seconds. rocket silos, first off, you need 2 stack inserters for every single item to load them fast enough. I can fix that problem if I really wanted to. On top of that, you then, even when a silo is absolutely maxed out, a silo can't actually launch 1 rocket per minute. It takes 61, and I haven't checked the maths. I have not checked the maths in years, to be honest. Since version 14, really, when rockets per minute actually mattered. It takes 61 seconds to actually get a rocket up and in the air. So that means that 5 silos will never give you 5 rockets per minute. You actually need 6, and the last one has to be fed a little bit slower, but that's what we need to do. So, and the best way to confirm this, if I bring up the rocket stats for the last 1 hour, we can see it's pretty consistent. These little blips here are caused by the silo back at the main base. That's it launching, at least I assume. But even on a 10-hour stat, you can see we're pretty consistent. There was a dip. That's when I went and laid in the new coal lines 2.5 hours ago. But yeah, we're pretty consistent around about that 4.4k space science per minute, which is 4.4 rockets per minute. Resources coming in is perfectly fine. There's no stress or anything on those. So what we actually have to do is we have to get another rocket. So that's going to be our first job for this episode. 1 more of these. That was the easy part. I do not have belts on my inventory really anymore. Wrong one! No! It's fine, I'll fix it afterwards. I had a rocket. How do you lose a whole silo? It's not my auto trash. I've lost the rocket silo. You. Crap. Let's just do it with a box. And you. Okay. Alright, so that's 1 ingredient in. Cancel. You're actually meant to come in over here. Yup. And you're... They're meant to come in over there. And dead set, I lost the silo. I even went to base and got all the materials and crafted before I started the episode because I knew this was on the... Oh, I didn't lose it. The bots got carried away. Okay. Alright, solved. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okie dokie. Put those blueprints back down there. Problem solved. Alright, so we're going to add another rocket silo to the mix. I don't actually think we have... So it comes down to timing now, okay? I ran a stopwatch timer on my phone and calculated a rocket silo, and I was launching a rocket in a 1 minute and 12 seconds. So in theory, if I'm launching 5 rockets in 1 minute 12 seconds, I can now do 6 in 1 minute 12 seconds, which in theory means exactly 5 rockets per minute. In theory, being they're rockets, being that you only get space science very sporadically, I need to run it for an average of several hours to actually get a calculation I can use in the production stats. But in theory, that has fixed our problem. That now means that this base over here needs to be running at peak efficiency to be able to get 6 silos now running flat out. That's our very first rocket launched from that one. So that's our first problem solved. Our second problem is everything's running. No, that's not a problem. Our second problem is I've worked out that, well, our second problem is actually, it is. Everything's running perfectly. And I've still got UPS to spare. So we need to go exploring to find another oil, preferably right here, that I can pump straight into here to do the refineries. So I don't even have to bother with trains doing a circuit. I can just have oil straight to tanks or even potentially straight into refineries. We'll see. And do our oil that way. So I need to go exploring over here. This one's already looking awfully nice. This is probably where we're going to end up putting down the blueprint. It means everything is slid down by that much. Yeah, it should all line up with this bottom train track. So yeah, that there or there is probably one of our 2 plans to go build a whole new rocket module. The catch is, when I do that, this base is going to have to kick into high action. We're going to need a bazillion more modules. We already know I need 22,000, 20,000, 11,000, 11,000. So that's our big numbers off the top. I have the speed modules. I don't have the belts. I do have the undergrounds, the beacons. I do have the productivity modules. Inserters, 7.6k, 8.2. Yeah, it looks like I have most of the materials. But it also means that this base is still going to kick in action to actually refill these buffer chests, which is where I put everything that I in theory need to build another module. And then on top of all that crap, it needs to replace everything in case we need a third module. Because it's entirely possible we might need a third module. So that's going to put a lot of stress on the starter base. Because don't forget, I have all the nuclear running still, which can probably be turned off. I might have to extend solar again, because I actually saw, funnily enough, if we go to the power network over 10 minutes, giving us a day-night cycle, the steam turbines outputting 15 gigawatts worth of power is not enough, and the accumulators actually have to kick in. So my steam turbines aren't outputting nearly enough power. My solar has a peak of 35, but we worked it out, it was like 25, 26 constant. Actually, let's redo that maths just in case. No, you won't do. Let's bring up one of those. So we have 620123 multiplied by 42 watts divided by 1,000 divided by 1,000. We're doing 26 gigawatts and we're using 24. So actually we're pretty close to our power max. So I need to go double solar again. Yay me. So yeah, this base has a lot of work still to do. So what I actually want to do is I want to start working out how to get the space science out of here onto a train and then dumped in here. And I've already seen that I have a perfect little... Hang on, find the right blueprint. Find the next right blueprint. Perfect little spot right here where I can bring a single solemn train up to right beside my silo, unload the science, and literally just underground it straight to here. Because technically space science is actually the thing that's slowing down this base. from doing science faster. So if I could offset that by bringing some of the wasted science down here up to there, I will. So that's the other plan I wanted to get to this episode. And then I'm going to go do some exploring, some confirming, and then we'll probably see you guys in the next episode where we actually go and build. Yeah, or plan. Build's probably too strong a word. Plan. That could all go away. Come on, autosave. Rocket. Science. Okay. Which also now means I need to move this train track. And the roboport, it seems. Okay, fine. Go up another tile. Be stubborn. Of course there's a forest in the way. There's always a forest in the way. There. To there. Signal, signal, signal. I don't really need a chain signal there because there's nothing that goes from the south. It doesn't actually connect to anything. Alright. So that should give us that. I'm going to put a signal in here somewhere. That'll do. We're going to go with a 2 train because I can. With a 2 wagon because that is, as far as overkill goes, that's pretty extreme. We're going to go with, you know what? I'm going to go with 4. Again, so much overkill. Okay, 1 belt. 2 belts. We're gonna put a splitter there. Getting this out might be an issue. Okay, you're gonna move there. You're gonna move there. Alright. I cannot touch any chests that are full of science because it's just gonna fill up my inventory. Somebody put a robot in the way. Yeah, you're still connected to the network. Good. That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Keep bringing the belts this way. Take that under. Keep bringing the belts. Okay, so hang on. I got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's actually. Can I move that substation? I can. Okay, so we're gonna run that belt that way. Okay, now I've got 2 belts worth. There to there, there to there, there. That's wrong direction. Good job, JD. Underground. Okay. Rocket science full. Don't forget space science stacks in 2K, so this is going to be a lot of science. Am I really out of... No, I'm not out of stacking service. Okay. That'll start outputting space science. Meanwhile, let's empty some of these boxes. I want to try and keep them emptying evenly. You don't have to empty even. Oh, that's an idea. Okay. So let's put all that back in there. This is the new guy. This is the new guy. You don't count. You don't have to be emptied evenly. I don't care about you. You can all go straight into a tray. Hi, tray. That didn't get us very far. Alright. You're full. You're full. You're full. Any inserter I can remove that's doing nothing is technically a saving in EPS, so we're going to do it whilst we can. And again, you're just going to dump in every chest when really I want all the science. I want all the science to prioritize going up this way first. Maybe that's my answer. Okay, so you had 72 in each stack and 1,000 science. Crap, I need some more science. You lot, come here. 1k science, that's exactly what I want. So if I put 1k... Oh, you don't have an output slot. It doesn't have an output slot for me to fill until it's ready to launch. I'll just have to wait for it to launch and then come back and check. Alright. 6.5, 6.5, 6.7, 7.1, 6.9, 7... None of them are full. None of them are full. Nope. That's got like 78k in it. Hey. As long as we got less than 72, I call that a win. Technically, that's a win. It's a pretty bad one. Oh, it's got 72 in it. Yeah, okay, that was not a win. Alright, I'm going to empty that chest. Upgrade planner. You lot. You lot. That chest. That chest. Because if I empty all the chests at the same time, then they all stay even. Okay. That'll do me. That won't do me. More science. 71k. Bad example. 6.9. Alright, so that's my next chest. That chest, that chest, that one, and that one. It's a start. 7k? Sure. Crap. I pulled out speed modules. Alright. That'll do us. That's enough space science. We've got 114,000 in there. That's enough for our first trip. Take my train to here, please. And go. And hopefully I have... Yeah, I should have enough track on me to get this little section built. And then we can dump our cargo and route it in there. And if I prioritize... No, if I have you read off the belt. Yes, that's how we'll do it. Because I don't want to disable that silo just in case something breaks. So I'll have it read off the belt, i.e. if there's science on the belt, don't add a satellite into the silo. Okay, how to get... Do not get hit by train jetty. Thank you. Oh, crap! The train left without me. You. Come here. It's a dead end then. And then he can't run away from me. Okay, an unload station. It doesn't have to be neat or tidy. It just has to work. All you substations, go away. You're in my way. And from the looks of it, none of you are doing anything anyway. Oh, I just... You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Train station. Rocket science drop. You done? Empty. Go. No, okay, one of you was doing something. You were adding rocket control units to nukes, which we're not using anymore because we turned off biters because they actually used more UPS than the whole base. 2 chests is overkill. Okay. No, you need to go up a tile. Underground into there. Yep, straight through the middle of the build because why not? I assume you can go on both sides of the belt. Yes. Okay. Then we're going to have you output to there. I'm going to throw that in there. And we're going to have you now read off there. And you hold. So, hang on, I need another bit of red wire so I can confirm that I'm making this the way I think I'm making this. So, it's currently reading the amount on the belt. So, if we say if that is greater, enable condition. If that is less than 0. So, if there's no space science on the belt, i.e. something empties it, you should now have, you don't have, equals 0. That's what I want. So if there's no space science, then that inserter can then flip and add, actually it should be down here. Should be down here. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll wire that all the way to there, copy those settings to there, and you are going to do nothing. You are literally an anchor point on the belt so I can run a wire. Done. Okay, so now we're bringing space science up here. That request chest can go away as well. We're bringing space science up here. It's still hooked up to this silo. This silo is now doing absolutely nothing. which is going to save us red and green circuits, along with a bunch of steel, well, a little bit of steel, a little bit of copper rocket fuel, which I don't really care about. Do I even need signals? Not really. It's off a main line. It's signaled the whole way up. So really the next thing I need to do is I need to go wandering over here and physically explore. So yeah, that's going to be what I'm going to go do between episodes. Physically go explore and spot out a spot where we can dump down another whole module. And then if we're going ahead with that, which is what I assume we're going ahead with, it's what you guys have said that you want to see. You know, you want us to push the limits, so yeah, it's go down here and lay out some more track and get myself in a location where I can get to here with a train, because that's going to be the other important part. You know what? You take me to there instead. Yeah. Yeah, I need to go do some exploring, confirm when we're going to dump this thing, and then see you guys in the next episode where we actually start laying out the blueprint, which is going to be a lot of copying, pasting, trying to overlap things correctly, pasting a whole lot down, and then calling out an army of trains to get everything built. Anyway, that's all going to be in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Before we go, let's look at this. We're now doing 5.1k per minute. Done. Even though our 1 hour average has come up. So, yeah, we're definitely doing 5k a minute. Even this is starting to reflect that as well, which is on a rolling average. So, yeah. We should be done. On top of that, we're going to start buffering science in these chests, which we can then bring back up to the main base to process. It's actually eaten a lot of it already. I might have to rejiggle how space science gets dumped onto that belt. Either way, problems for me to sort out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. As always, if you like the video, click the like button. If I screwed up something, by all means, tell me down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.